Top stories at the Sawa, a man severely injured while skydiving and voting underway in Guinea-Bissau. Good afternoon. With the news at 3 o'clock, I'm Lulu Gabu. A man has been severely injured during a skydive east of Hartbeespoort in the northwest. Netcare 911 spokesperson Jeff Wicks says the man's parachute apparently tangled on a rocky outcrop and rescue workers found him hanging upside down. Wicks says the man sustained severe head and spinal trauma.
Paramedics were called to the scene by mountain rescue personnel who managed to locate the man hanging upside down from his parachute, which has become hooked on a rocky outcrop. The cause of the incident at this point remains uncertain. The Netcare 1 aeromedical helicopter landed at this when the doctor and flight paramedic aboard treated this critically injured man. He was airlifted to the specialist hospital for further urgent care.
Police are investigating reports that Lieutenant General Richard Mdluli has plundered the Police Crime Intelligence Unit. A secret police report details extensive allegations of corruption. It says Mdluli's relatives were appointed to the Crime Intelligence Agent program without performing any undercover operations. He allegedly used state vehicles in violation of regulations and used safe houses for himself and his family. He was appointed to head the unit in 2009. Two journalists were allegedly paid to write a positive story about the unit. Mdluli was suspended last year after his arrest for murder and fraud, charges which were subsequently withdrawn. The Health Department has acknowledged that a severe shortage of hospital beds has resulted in highly infectious multi-drug resistant tuberculosis patients being sent home. Patients have had to wait for up to 4 months to get a bed in a public hospital. The Health Department's own guidelines for treatment stipulate that MDR-TB patients should be in hospital for at least the first 6 months of treatment. The department's chief director for TB control, David Mamecha, says it is better to manage patients outside of hospitals than to make them wait for a bed. He has acknowledged the policy poses a health risk to the public. Over 7,000 people were diagnosed with MDR-TB in South Africa in 2010. Road safety will from now on form part of life skills curriculum at schools. That's according to Transport Minister Sibusiso Ndebele. He has told the Easter Road Safety Campaign in Ekurhuleni the new strategy is aimed at eliminating road fatalities across the country. It will also involve training taxi drivers on road safety techniques. Attempts to rescue a female whale shark at the Soetwater campsite at Kommetjie in the Cape Peninsula have been in vain. A spokesperson for Cape Town Disaster Management, Wilfred Solomons Johannes, says surfers tried to return the shark to the sea, but it beached itself again. He says teams from Disaster Management and Environmental Affairs are on the scene to remove the 3-meter-long carcass from the rocks.
They are busy recovering the carcass from the water. It will remain there until such time that the scientists undertake a necropsy to establish the cause of death. The carcass will thereafter be removed to the Fishhawk landfill site where it will be disposed of.
And finally, further afield, voting is underway in a presidential election in Guinea-Bissau following the death from illness of the previous head of state, Malam Bakai Sanya. The BBC's John James is there.
Polling stations opened more or less on time here in the capital Bissau, with tens of voters lining up to vote from sunrise. Most of the voting centres are outside and little more than a couple of plastic tables and chairs. Only vehicles authorised by the Electoral Commission are allowed on the roads, and the air, sea and land borders have been closed for the day. Security is in the hands of a mixed force of police, National Guard and soldiers trained by UN security experts. If this election continues to be peaceful and the newly elected president is accepted as legitimate by the losing candidates and the powerful army, it would reinforce this fragile country's attempts to escape a cycle of coups d'etats and instability.